2020 NASW Illinois Chapter Statewide Social Worker of the Year awardee is Jude Hines, PhD, MSW, JD, LCSW, who is currently a school social worker for the School Association for Special Education in DuPage County, SASED, a special education cooperative in DuPage and West Cook counties. She works with students with a variety of disabilities, including deaf and hard of hearing and students in transition. Her doctoral research focus was examining associations between internalized heterosexism, outness, relationship satisfaction, and intimate partner violence in lesbian relationships. She has been actively involved with Youth Outlook, an agency that serves LGBTQ+ youth in the western suburbs for 16 years, the Open and Affirming Committee at her church, and she provides LCSW supervision. In support of her nomination of Jude, SASED Program Administrator Christine DiRienzo wrote, "Jude Hines has been a valuable member of our agency, and everyone who works with her has the opportunity to learn from her wisdom, experience, balance, and passion for our students. She's an excellent example of an outstanding social worker in her field." Fellow colleague Kirsten Schmidt also wrote, "I have had the honor and privilege to work with Jude over the last 10 years and am continually impressed by her dedication, knowledge, and advocacy work for individuals with disabilities and their families. Students respond and interact with Jude in a positive manner because she is an active listener, is very respectful, and approachable." Congratulations, Jude. Congratulations on receiving the 2020 NASW Illinois Chapter Social Worker of the Year award. We're so thrilled to be able to celebrate with you, at least virtually. So we wanted to have this time to briefly talk about what this award means to you.
Well, I'm completely flattered, and I'm very, very touched that somebody recommended me, and I was able to see the letters of. I had to ask people to write me letters, and then they were shared with me, and I am touched by the things that they said, and it reminded me that sometimes people are paying attention and they do notice. Sometimes I think social work is a little bit like parenting. You know, it's a thankless job sometimes, and you work really hard for other people. But this spoke to me that people do notice your hard work and what you're doing for other people. So, and I think that's true for all social workers. So not to sound like, you know, the Oscars, but I feel like this represents a lot of social workers that I work with in special ed. They're very special people, and people who are supporting LGBTQ youth. They're doing, you know, good hard work, and I'm very touched and honored that it was noticed.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can you give to social workers during these very, very challenging times that we are going through right now as a state, as a country, as a world?
Yeah, I guess I want to say hang on by your fingernails. Sometimes I feel like that's what I'm doing, and I have been very discouraged. And I was mentioning actually to another group of social workers that depending on the election, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and you know, I would even consider another country, but I know nobody else wants us. And she said to me, somebody in that group said to me, "You have to stay and fight. You know, you have to stay and fight." And so I was rejuvenated by that comment. And so I would share that with everybody else. I think it's okay to acknowledge that we are tired and discouraged, but we have to stay and fight. And, you know, if we don't, who else will? But I think it's important during these very difficult times to advocate and keep in mind the most vulnerable, because right now so many people are vulnerable, but the most vulnerable now are even in a worse situation than ever. And so we have to keep mindful of them and to remember to advocate for them. And I think we have to maintain healthy boundaries. If we don't know how or when to turn off the phone or the computer or stop answering emails or assisting people, we're going to get burned out, and then you're not helpful to anybody and you can't stay in the profession. I see a lot of school social workers that are very close to being burnt out, and I just really encourage them to do a lot of self-care and to have healthy boundaries. We can't save everybody, you can't fix everybody, you can't save anyone if you're not in the profession anymore because you're burnt yourself out.
Right, thank you. That's great advice. That's great advice. Thank you. Did you have any other additional thoughts, reflections on receiving this award?
Well, I think it's, I started my social worker career later in life, and it's been very rewarding to me. So I guess I want to say also that it's never too late if you need to make a change, or if something is calling you, to go ahead and do it. It's never too late. And I still managed to put in a bunch of years, but it was definitely a later in life career change, and it's been very rewarding to me. I found a good niche, and I feel very fortunate to have become a social worker.
Great. Well, thank you. And we're thrilled to be presenting you with this award this year. And once again, congratulations on behalf of the chapter.
Thank you. I'm honored to be selected.